Good morning. My name is Amaris Freeman, and I am Miss Gilbert's Voice and Diction class. This is part two to my second oral presentation. In this presentation, we'll be talking about fricatives. A fricative is a consonant sound that is brought out by bringing your mouth into a position that isn't completely taking away your airstream, but is taken away enough to where there's a noticeable friction. Two consonants in particular would be F and V. I chose V for my consonant because whenever I say V, I don't particularly put too much emphasis on it, and I don't put a lot of force behind it the way it deserves. So sometimes my V words tend to sound like V words. For example, very for me can sometimes sound like very. Um, Two sentences that I thought would help would be one, Vivian was a vivacious vixen, variously proving herself vindictive and benevolent. And two, Heaven help the evil villain who deserves his virtuous wife with visions of vicarious living. I also have a passage by Raymond Chandler from the story The Big Sheep. The squirrel work along the edge of the porch was wet with the fog. The fog dripped from the Monterey cypress that shadowed off into nothing towards the cliff above the ocean. You could see a scant dozen feet in any direction. I went down the porch steps and drifted off through the trees, following up the indistinct path until I could hear the wash of the surf licking at the fog, low down at the bottom of the cliff. There wasn't a gleam of light anywhere. I could see a dozen trees clearly at one time, another dozen dimly, then nothing at all but the fog. I circled into the left and drifted back towards the gravel path and went around on the stables where they parked the cars. When I would make out the outlines of the house, I stopped. A little in front of me, I had heard a man cough. My steps hadn't made any sound on the soft, moist turf. The man coughed again, then stifled the cough with a handkerchief or a sleeve. While he was still doing that, I moved forward closer to him. I made him out, a vague shadow close to the path. Something made me step behind a tree and crouch down. The man turned his head. His face should have been a white blur when he did that. It wasn't. It remained dark. There was a mask over it. I waited behind the tree.